Marcel Duchamp is a famous artist known for his paintings, sculptures, and ready-made objects. He was born in Blainville, Crevon, France in 1955, and he's known for two movements, which is Dada and Surrealism. Key characteristics. Marcel Duchamp is known for his ready-mades. Ready-mades are already made objects claimed as art. So if you look to the right, you can see that there's a wheel and a stool put together, and he claimed it as art. So there were two already made objects. He's also known for his controversial art. And one key characteristic about Marcel Duchamp is that he believed in ideas over approaches. So how to make the art rather than the art itself. And then he wanted to make people view art in a different way. That way, the viewer creates meaning for the art. He also wanted to challenge the viewer and have them question, what is art? All his work was very funny and absurd. Dadaism. It was known to denounce establishment and shock the public. So it's believed that rational society is the reason for war and chaos. A lot of Dada artists were very anti-war and anti-capitalist, and they wanted to use anti-art materials, meaning they wanted to use materials that were not normally associated with art. And a lot of their art challenged traditional art. So that was done by using not normal objects and shocking the public and questioning, is this really art? If you look to the right, you see a photo of Mona Lisa, and Duchamp drew a mustache and a beard on Mona Lisa's face. So it's just challenging traditional art. And like I said earlier, it's a very absurd and funny approach to this art. Ready-made art. Ready-made art is something we already covered, but as a reminder, it's an object that is already made in the world and claimed as art. And there are things called assisted ready-made. So that's objects that are altered ready-made objects that are merged together. So an example of that was the wheel and the stool. They were two already made objects put together. And a lot of the materials used for ready-made art were anti-art materials. So these are materials that were not really associated with art. So example are like the urinal, the shovel, and you'll see some examples on the next page. So here's some examples of ready-made art. You can see the stool and the wheel and then the chair, but obviously he's altered it. It's hanging and you can see its shadow, and then the shovel. Marcel Duchamp was very influential in the art world today. One of this is through artistic freedom. He was able to achieve artistic freedom by challenging the idea that art should be beautiful, should be able to show skill or craftsmanship, and that only certain materials were appropriate to use for art. So an example of this was ready-made objects and his different types of art, and then also the Mona Lisa by coloring on it. And then he was able to be influential on contemporary art practices because he wanted there to be an interaction between the art and the viewer. And he was also a big influence on conceptual art in the world today.